Hello, Zaccura here, and welcome to part 2, where I'm going to be coloring in this outline using Copic markers. If you want to see part 1, which is how to make this outline, the link is in the description box. So let's get into it. Yeah! The first color I'm using is E00. It's called Skin White, and I'm just coloring in all the skin with this color. Now, as you can see, this video is very fast. It's at 4 times the original speed, and because if I didn't do that, it would be an extremely long video. But I think 4 times is okay. You can still see what I'm doing because I did spend a long time coloring in. Also, I originally didn't want to upload this video because I'm still so new at using Copic markers. This is only the 4th time I've ever used them. So yeah, but I thought since I made part 1, I thought I'd show how it looks with the Copic marker on top. I don't know. So I'm not gonna really give any advice. I'm just gonna say what I'm doing. And I don't know, hopefully maybe you guys can get some stuff from that. Also, excuse my voice a little, it's a little bit, I don't know, congested sounding because I have a little bit of a cold. So just roll with it, you know, if you hear me like clear my throat or something, you know, just roll with it. So here I'm using YR00. It's called Powder Pink, and I'm just going over the shadows to make them darker. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to tell you, but you already saw that with the original E00, I went over the shadows a couple times, again, just with that color, too, because it will make it darker as well. And here I switched over to E21, and I'm just going over the shadows again. The name of this one is Baby Skin Pink. So those are the only 3 skin colors that I have and that I used: E00, YR00, and E21. And you'll see that I'm just going to keep going over and over again with the same colors. Every time I add a darker color, I'll blend it out with E00, as I'm doing here. So that's all I'm doing, and you're gonna see that I'm gonna be doing this for quite a while. Also, as you can see, the colors will look different when you just put them on paper and when they dry. So when I was doing the cheek, as I am here, I thought I ruined the picture because of how dark it is, but then when it dried, it looked just fine. So, you know, I guess it's can learn something from that, I guess. I don't know. I think the entire neighborhood of dogs just decided to bark right now, right as I'm recording. I hope you can't really hear it on the video. But it's so loud, oh my gosh. It's like coming through the walls. More blending, yeah. So as you can see, by putting the same colors over and over again with a lot of persistence, you can make them darker. Because I think this is like what, like the 5th time I went over with the same colors? Gosh. Okay, now so I finally started to do the hair. So here I'm using E21. It's called Hazelnut. And so all I'm doing is I'm keeping the tips of the hair dark, and at the top I'm also keeping it dark, and in the middle I'm leaving streaks of white to make it look shiny. Oh, excuse me, it was not E21. I'm so stupid. It's actually E23. E21 was the skin color. I am not using skin color here. I'm using a brown called Hazelnut. It's E23. And yeah, so I'm just doing the same thing at the bottom. And this, what I do is I'm basically doing actually what I do with pencil, is that every time there's sort of a bump in the hair, I'll leave that part, you know, shiny, and when there's an indent, I'll leave that part dark. I don't know how exactly to explain that, but hopefully you guys can get what I mean. Doing this side of the hair is always the hardest for me. Hard for me, like, yeah, see, like I put my hand in like a weird position if I try to get the strokes clean. Okay, now for a darker brown, I'm using E37, it's called Sepia. And then I'm just basically doing the undertone, just going over pretty much all the hair again, and just making it darker and stuff, yeah. And these are actually the only 2 browns that I have. So yeah, those are the only 2 colors that I use for the hair. I wish I had another darker brown so that I could put even darker, deep highlights. Or wait a minute, can you call them highlights if they're darker? I don't know, I have to get back to you on that one. Yeah, but I don't. So her hair is pretty like copper, I guess. It's not very brown. Ah, the hard part again. Always save it for last. Okay, so now I'm just blending it again with E23. Just blending in the darker color with the lighter color. Oh, I just went over with some more Sharpie pen because I wanted the pupils to be a little bit darker. And I'm just doing the eyes with E23 starting. Unfortunately, because I don't have any lighter color, lighter brown than E23, I have to start with E23. I would have preferred to use an even lighter color so that I could really make a nice gradient from dark to bright, but I don't, so it's pretty, I don't know, I guess dull eyes. But yeah, I'm just gradienting it. I'm gradienting the top dark to light. And yeah, see here, I'm just using E37 and making it dark, and I'm just going over and over and over again because I don't have any darker browns, so to make it much darker. I'm like stumbling over my words. Yeah, I'm just blending it with E23 again. Now here I'm using E70 Ash Rose, simply because I don't have any grays, and this shows up pretty gray on cardstock, which is what I'm using, so I just use that to do the shadow on the eyes. And here I'm just using E37 to outline the eyebrow, so that it's not just a black line. Now here, because the other colors that I happen to have were pink, I'm using RV10 Pale Pink for the clothes. Just filling in the whole thing with that color first. Literally the only reason why I made the shirt pink was because all I have is pink. I don't know, I probably would have chose like blue or something like that, but I don't know, I guess it works, you know, with the flower and all that. And then I just went over with R20 blush to, you know, make the folds more defined and such. Okay, now with the flower, I just did the same thing. I just used the pink RV10 pale pink and just branched it out from the middle into the petals. And then I just took a excuse me. Yeah, right now I'm still just using blush and doing the same thing. But then I took E000, so E000, which is called pale fruit pink. And I just filled in the whole flowers to give it sort of a, not just a super pale white look. Now here, because I had it, I used E23 yellowish beige to add some yellowish stuff into it and just blending it out with the pinks again. Now here I'm using a jelly roll pen. You can get these at craft stores. The number is 08, just the white one. And I'm just adding some white dots and stuff. Adding some glitter to her eyelashes, added another bubble to her eyes, added some white lines on the flower. I don't know what the heck I'm doing here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's useful, I like it. I've also used it to correct mistakes before, it works pretty okay. And here I just went over with the E000 to make the eyes at the bottom brighter. It worked pretty well, I guess. Just adding some highlights. And here I just took a regular pink colored pencil and added some blush to her cheeks because I wanted her to have sort of a rosy complexion. And I already put my signature, but I wanted to put some more blush, so I just put that on there. And that's it. If you guys like this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up. And I'd love to read your comments. And you can subscribe for more upcoming videos. Thank you for watching.